Going slow. He just knew he was going to get applause after he was finished, and he did. Karen put, I think it was a cookie or a treat on his nose. And I said, what is that dog going to do? He's so wonderful. He's beautiful. He's a big dog. He's enormous. And she stood back, and Zap had the treat or the cookie on his nose. And she gave him the cue to do his thing, and Zap did just that. He jumped and caught that cookie in his mouth. I said, woo, Zap, Zap! And people were looking at me, and I had to sustain myself and get back down. And then I was waiting, and Campbell was getting the edge. He wanted to do something, and Zap just stood there and said, okay, man, go ahead, go on, do your thing. Zap did his thing, and then Campbell did his thing, and Zap, he didn't have to do anything else. He walked slowly out the door. And I said, that's a smart dog. I remember one time, and I won't keep you, I was at my friend's house, and, you know, they had commercials. And I saw this commercial with these trained service dogs. And all of a sudden, I saw Zap on TV, on television. And I was sitting down, and I was at, people were in the midst. And I jumped up. I said, Dickle. And they came over to me, oh, you having an epileptic seizure? And I said, no, that's Zap. I know him. That's the service dog at UDS. And they said, they looked at me and they said, that girl's crazy. And they walked away, but I knew that was Zap. I could tell him out of the crowd. His face is so gentle, his demeanor, everything about Zap is so pleasant. He is a good-natured dog. I mean, God blessed him with us, and blessed us with him and other service dogs that we have at UDS. The love and the kindness and dignity and respect, the core values that UDS have surely should be toward the service dogs also, among the employees too, and the consumers. But the service dogs, they're the one that's out there doing the actual work. I mean, you have to applaud them because they're out there. I see them at Home Depot, Wise Market, they're everywhere. And you can't pet them, but I want so much to go and pet those dogs and thank them that they're doing their work, and their journey is fulfilling by God's grace. She's funny. Joyce, you going to say something? Susie, you can come up with Joyce's stuff.
Well, Karen asked me if I would say a few words about Zap, and I said, how can you say a few words about Zap? He was exceptional. And Karen emailed me back, she said, well, just say that he was exceptional. So I've said it.
Thank you.
But I'd come to work every morning, and who would be at that door waiting for me with a nice smile on his face? It wasn't my boss, it was Zap. Who would help me take off my coat or my sweater? Again, it wasn't my boss, it was Zap. Zap did not know he was a dog. He thought he was human. And he thought he was a member of the staff, and he was. He was our mailman. You'd give him letters, he'd take them down to Karen. He'd deliver things. He was a salesman, as you've heard. That dog was everything. And I think the best way we can remember Zap is with laughter and with smiles, because that is what Zap gave to all of us.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Zap was a happy dog. He had a good health. But I gotta tell you one story. I used to groom dogs, and I said to Karen, hey Karen, they're having doggy dancing contest at a grooming expo. Would you like to go to it? And she said, yeah. So we went up, took our lawn chairs, we sat there and we watched this competition. And she goes after that, she says, you know what? I can teach that to do that. I said, I bet you can. And she did. The only regret she has is that she doesn't have a video of it. But she did teach Zap to dance. And, you know, who isn't happy when they dance, really? But he did have a good life, and he was a great dog, and you will never find a dog like him again. He's irreplaceable. And as all of you out there who have pets know, we're going to go through this too with our own pets soon. I have some dogs who are aging, and I know I am not looking forward to having to go through this again. But I'm going through it again and again and again because we just love them. You know, they're in our hearts, and they're in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this makes sense to some people. I have to reveal a secret that I am Coco with the Hershey Bears. And the one fond memory I have about Zap, I think this was when you first started selling calendars. This was way back, I can't remember. But anyway, I said to the person that was there that night, I said, next week, meet me at the front doors with your calendars and a dog. I didn't tell them what I was going to do. So I made a vest, a red vest, and it said bear in training. Put a gentle leader over Coco's nose with a leash and met them at the front door. There I stood, and Zap held the leash in his mouth. I don't remember how many calendars we sold that night, but we sure drew a lot of attention. And the last photo shoot that we did, I know that Zap did not have long to live, and I will cherish that last photo shoot that we had and my arms around it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like me to read this letter?
Yes.
There was a gentleman who could not be here tonight because he wasn't feeling well, but he has he emailed what he wanted to say about Zap. He says, I remember when he would come to my office for a Zap snack, and I would send notes back with him to you, Karen. He used to come to the break room where we all had lunch, and we would have to shoot him back to your area. He wanted our food as much as I wanted to feed him. I didn't want to get yelled at by his mom. I remember you having him do some of his tasks for me the first day I met him. I never saw a dog do those things. It was my first introduction to a service dog. Zap had a way of going above and beyond his service with love all along the way. I remember all of the love he gave to all of us unconditionally. I remember him fighting to please everyone and stay alive. He showed no pain, but continued to love you and your family. He prepared you for his death. He will be missed, but not forgotten. He is in my heart and mind, and no one can change that. He was a gift from God. And he was a gift from God. And as this lady said, any of us that have pets, every day we get closer and closer to the time when their time here will end. And something that has given me peace, because I don't look forward to it either. I cry, I hurt, just like you. I read somewhere one time that somebody said, I gave him a great life. And I look at each one of my pets because I went through a time where I felt it was in vain. I took care of them, fed them the best, took them to the vets, did everything I could, but it felt like it was in vain until I read that. I gave them a great life. And when they're gone, the door is open for another who needs to know the love of a human being. And that love will come from me, and I'll give it a great life. And remember that, all of you, that it's not in vain. It hurts, but it's something until the day we die, we're never going to escape. We're never going to get away from it. remember to give another one a great life, because there's so many out there who need a good home, and they are God sent, whether it be just to be a pet, to snuggle and comfort, or to be a service dog. Before I do the closing blessing, I want to present Karen and Barry with a gift. I had Karen email me a picture of Zap. And on here it says, it's a request from Rainbow Bridge. Weep not for me, though I am gone into that gentle night. Breathe if you will, but not for long, upon my soul's sweet flight. I am at peace, my soul's at rest. There is no need for tears. For with your love I was so blessed for all those many years. There is no pain. I suffer not. The fear now is all gone. But put these things out of your mind. In your memory I live on. Remember not my fight to breathe. Remember not the strife. Please do not dwell upon my death, but celebrate my life. And that's what tonight is.
Thank you.
And I will share with you
The butterflies.
the butterflies. I'm a volunteer for for Olivia's House, which is a non-profit organization for children and their families who have lost a loved one. And our motto at Olivia's House is the butterfly. Because when they walk through that door, they are raw with grief and sorrow, and they're mourning. So we look at it as they're wrapped in a cocoon. And if each and every one of us travels through that journey of grief, that mourning, that loss, that void in our heart, one day you emerge from that cocoon and you become a beautiful butterfly because you've journeyed the journey of loss and grief.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will also give you Zap's candle that you can light whenever you want. And I'm going to close. In our tradition, we are reminded that our bodies return to the earth, while our spirits are